Hey guys, Shaky the Main, aka Deboo, with a video update. This video update effective around 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, August 24th, 2021, and starts you off with a first visible of the day on the anniversary of Hurricane Andrew. And I thought it was ironic that, here we are on the anniversary and we have this large upper level low that's in here just north of the Dominican Republic, and no tropical development is anticipated. It's in a high shear environment, but I wanted to show it to you as a reminder that, here it is, the anniversary of Hurricane Andrew. But with that said, that had this been an area that had a chance at tropical development or was a tropical cyclone, you often hear us say, always watch tail ends of fronts along stalled or dying fronts for an area of low pressure to develop. Sometimes low pressure likes to attach itself to the tail. Well, you can see here's the tail end of the front here. And so if we were tracking the system to try and find out where it was going, or, do a pinned tweet for those of you who are longtime followers, this would be an indication that the system would go from here to here and attach to the tail end of the front. Does that make sense to you? Because we know this is moving off in this direction. And so I just wanted to show that to you. I'll show it to you in the loop. Now, there is a surface low associated with this, and you can clearly see it right in here moving into the Bahamas. Notice how it almost gave a little appearance of a hole right there. So that's the surface feature. This is the upper level feature that's in here, okay? And also, too, we always talk about that when you start to get towards the heart of the hurricane season, you can start to make out hearts in the model images. You can start to make out hearts in the imagery. And if you look right in here, this takes on the shape of a heart right here. So our hearts and prayers go out to all those who were affected by Hurricane Andrew, such a destructive cyclone. And we're going to switch you over to the latest out of the National Hurricane Center's 5-day tropical weather outlook. And there are 3 systems that are in the Atlantic that we are monitoring. And just for those new followers, just to let you know that we are primarily a surf and marine forecaster covering the North Atlantic waters, looking for patterns and or systems that produce high surf and or high seas. You can't have high surf without high seas. Looking at the top here, we've got the remnants of Henri, okay? And ironically, Henri is right back in the same position where it dropped into the Atlantic about 10 days ago. So Henri has come full circle. Okay, it dropped into the Atlantic here about 10 days ago, dropped down to Bermuda, dropped down to here northeast of the Bahamas, and then started its trek up. So it did a loop. And I don't know if you were following, or for those who were following a week ago, we said we're entering that time of year for loop-de-loops. Okay, look at this pattern right here for what is now 97L Invest. Okay, look, it's making a hard right-hand turn, which is Climo. But there's nothing to say that this thing can't loop back around and get down in here to north of PR and the Dominican Republic and the islands in here and produce a nice northeast groundswell. That's what it's looking like. We're keeping an eye on it. We'll have more updates to come. And then this one down in here, this is not an invest yet. They have yet to tag it. And I have a feeling that they haven't tagged it yet, although it has the higher chance of development out of the all 3, so that the hurricane models won't get engaged, where the public can access those hurricane models, and then everybody start to freak out on what may or may not happen, okay? There's lots of uncertainty coming up in the upcoming forecast. One thing is for certain, we are heading for the peak of the hurricane season. Now, this system, which is likely going to become 99L Invest probably over the next day or so, is setting up as a pattern called round the corner. And that's where an area of low pressure develops down here off Panama and Costa Rica, and a westward moving tropical wave moves into the Western Caribbean and interacts with that area of spin that's down here off Panama and Costa Rica. Now, areas of spin during tropical season are common here. You'll always see every now and again another spin that develops. It doesn't develop tropically, but when you get a tropical wave to come in and engage that spin, that's where it can spin up and then turn around and round the corner of the Nicaraguan-Honduran border and get into the Gulf of Honduras. When it gets into the Gulf of Honduras, give me a second here. Let me get that where it's just this. Dang it. Hang on, guys. All right, so when it gets into the Gulf of Honduras, we know it's not going to go to the south. We know it's not going to go to the east and go back where it came from. Wrong Way Lenny was the only storm that I know of. There may have been another one that actually went back towards the east. So chances of it going back that way are nil. Chances of it dropping into the East Pacific are nil. So once in the Gulf of Honduras, your directions are either this way, this way, this way, or across Florida, lifting out. Now, as we get into the months of late September and October, that's Hurricane Michael was a round-the-corner system. There was an area spin that developed over here off Panama and Costa Rica, and a tropical wave came in here. It spun up into the Gulf of Honduras and then went straight up into the Panhandle, and the rest is history. So the round-the-corner pattern is probably one of the most common patterns that produce tropical cyclones, and they're the ones that you really want to watch. The other one is fork in the road, and that's where a tropical wave, the northern extension of a tropical wave that's moving off toward the west, can break off the main wave axis of the wave and get into the Bahamas, where it gets a chance to find a better environment and develop. You with me? Now, I'm not saying that that's happened here, and chances are zero for this thing to develop, so I don't want people, again, thinking that I'm trying to hype something up. I'm just pointing out pattern and to you. So the other system is this one here. This one is designated as 98L Invest. Chances has decreased overnight down to, I think it's 30% chance of development. It was in the orange category and a medium chance of development for the last couple of days, but chances have decreased. We're going to try and put another another video up later today, this evening maybe, and we'll start to talk about swell potential. There is the chances for surf alert starting up for the East Florida coast with the tightening of the pressure gradient of this upper level low. If this thing can deepen just a little bit, it'll increase east-southeast trade winds flow and could put on some fun surf for this weekend's Void Pro-Am, which is here in Jacksonville, Florida. And so as you can see, this upper level low is progressing towards the Florida coast. If we can get some enhancement of east-southeast trade winds from this system, it could elevate the seas and give us some fun surf for the contest. That's all we got for you for now. Stay tuned for the next update.